Right, so returning to the show now is a longtime professional wrestler, the Yucha from the Yukon, short and simple, El Reverso. Welcome back, man.
Thank you. Great to be back.
Yeah, man, it's always good to, like I said, we were just talking for a little bit, good to chat and catch up with you. So most basic question that I've ever asked anyone is just, how are you? And how's the welcome back to wrestling been the last, not too long, maybe 2-3 months?
Well, I personally am feeling great. I'm in the best shape of my life. I'm very motivated and very passionate. Things have been going very great on the wrestling front. Not so much here in Windsor. Windsor's still kind of behind the other Southern Ontario areas when it comes to independent wrestling coming back. But I think it's been like that for most of the public events anyways, when it comes to like other things like weddings and everything like that anyways. Yeah. So it's sad to say, but the wrestling has been fantastic. It's never been busier for me. It's good to see life returning back to normal after everything that's gone on.
Yeah.
So
yeah, it's been long enough, man. Been long enough. And we got to do some little things here and there, but to have like shows and events and stuff like that in Windsor or Ontario, maybe they're going to pass some bill or no wrestling ban in Windsor or something. But
I wouldn't put it past them.
Like you say, with like the wedding thing, so I think that's a good analogy.
Right.
But dude, yeah, it's cool. It's pretty weird to rewind. Talk to you maybe 3 years ago, got your whole story, and then just going crazy with wrestling for a while. But when it first happened, had it been really weird for you guys? Because I mean, a lot of guys are here in Windsor, surrounding area, not too far, keeping in touch, training and doing stuff, but also being able to travel with each other, meet up with each other in the States around Ontario. Now all of a sudden, nothing. It's like a dirt road with a tumbleweed. So that's weird for you guys. It's just kind of looking like, what do we do, right?
It was kind of like that cartoon Wile E. Coyote where he hits the brick wall. All of a sudden, that's like it's painted over into a roadway. That's what it felt like. All of a sudden, you hit a brick wall, and you're like, oh my gosh, like it really felt like a lot of us had so much momentum going. We were like Ontario independent wrestling was really just catching fire. It was really gaining a lot of notoriety. Like just not in the like other places around the world too were starting to recognize the talent that we had here in Southern Ontario. And all of a sudden, it just went to nothing. And thankfully, a few of us were able to find little places to just stay in shape. You know what I mean? Because even that was a challenge at first. And then once things started opening up and once people were able to start getting the vaccines and then people start getting back into wrestling rings, things slowly rolled downhill. And then I feel like not only are we right back where we were before the pandemic, but we're actually picked up a little bit hotter because people realize how much they actually miss it. Yeah. People realize how vital it was to their livelihood.
Yeah. Yeah, especially a lot of the, quote unquote diehards, the old reliables, the unrulies, all that kind of stuff. Like, you mentioned a lot of things that I do want to talk about though, and I don't know. I guess we'll kind of try to keep it on track because, like you said, like the Ontario indie scene was one of the top, if not one of the best in the world. It seemed like, maybe it's just us because we're used to it, but. So much great wrestlers coming out of here, and then all of a sudden nothing. So we were supposed to have lockdown in March of 2020, which is crazy to think that a week later that could have happened.
Oh yeah, it's ironic actually that the show was called Lockdown and it was canceled because we were in a government lockdown. Yeah. So it's very sad. And actually that match was that show specifically, I was supposed to wrestle Ace Austin in the cage. He was still the exhibition champion at the time, so that would have been just a tremendous boon for me for my career. But that was one of those things where it just all of a sudden felt like we're not going anywhere, right? Like it just really felt sad. But fortunate and thankfully enough, things have been continuing with that momentum. Things have been going very good. I haven't wrestled Ace Austin yet, and I hope that is coming up in the future. But things have been going great. I can't complain that one bit.
Yeah, and to kind of allude on that too, like. Again, kind of going back just before the pandemic, everyone just hit a brick wall. Yourself, you were kind of back into it more than ever for the last few years, at that point prior. And things were looking great for you, man. Looking great for everybody too. So had it been a bit of a challenge. Let's talk about, like yourself, again, getting back into it and then all of a sudden, boom, dead stop on the road when you had opportunities to start moving up in the world, right?
Oh yeah, and it was honestly when I got discouraged, we had a taping. There was an Impact taping where it was at the Diener Complex, and I remember being very very positive about the way I expected things to turn out, and it just didn't turn out the way that I expected for me. I was given every opportunity, you know what I mean, and I can't really complain. Like Impact's, you know what I mean, they're amazing with how they do things. It was very professional and everything, and I didn't perform the way that I thought I could, and I got really sad about it. You know what I mean? It was one of those things that started that decline, and thankfully I had the support in my life behind me to say, like, you know, just shake it off. Like my girlfriend, like my gym closed at the same time that all this was happening too, or that, you know what I mean? So my girlfriend got me some weights, my parents got me some weights and stuff, and they just encouraged me to keep going. And that, you know, it's not, even though the pandemic was going on, there's no wrestling, and then that was it. And I had no other shot. They were like, no, that's not it. Just be patient and keep going. So thankfully I was able to pull myself out of that just in the right time, and then get ready right when things are starting to open up.
Yeah, that's what you need, that support. I mean, you got it from the boys and girls too, but to have it outside of that world is very important, you know. And since talking the first time, the last time, whatever that was, I'm sure we still missed a lot of El Reverso, you know, at least for myself and for maybe people listening to this show. So a lot of things, like we were just talking about, things were going great for you, but at least you had, at least at some point, you had that group of people to train with, and at times when you're allowed to probably go to the school and stuff like that, it was probably very beneficial during the lockdowns and those shady times, right?
Oh, it was very fortunate. I mean, like, without people like Scott in my life, Aiden Prince, Pupinder Gajar, Joe Doring, those people were all there near the tail end of the pandemic to help get back into shape and everything. And that was our tight-knit little group of people that were allowed to roll, you know what I mean, kind of thing, to try and stay in shape. And like, I can't, to be even considered in that group of people, like, you know what I mean, to be eligible to, it's a blessing as it is. And then now, to be able to continue with the knowledge that they were able to put onto me, and then we're, you know what I mean, everything, it's amazing. It's just an amazing experience. It's one of those things where I look back on it, and it's something I'm gonna feel blessed for the rest of my life about, is that I had that experience there at the end of the pandemic.
Yeah, it's really making me remember a lot of things about the BCW group and the wrestling community here, because it's almost like another lifetime. Like, you know, that stuff almost didn't exist. And
it's true. We're such a tight knit family. You know what I mean? The BCW group, the wrestlers and the fans alike. You know what I mean? We were together. We were close. Yeah. So it's sad that it's been gone for so long, and I just know that when it comes back, it's gonna be a big thing.
Oh yeah, I know. I thought about that, and we'll maybe talk about it too. But it's crazy to even think, because like it feels like it's never happened. Like I said, it's almost like a myth or something, these BCW shows. But again, the community being tight internally and externally as well. You kind of mentioned it. It was probably a struggle to keep up with fitness at first when gyms closed, and like the YMCA completely closed, right? That's where you used to train and stuff, right?
Oh yeah, and that was one of those tent poles of support in my career. Honestly, they're a group that not only did I get to know the people that work there, but like they supported my career as well. Like they would put up posts about my shows. They would put up posters in the building. You know what I mean? I would do interviews with some of the people there too. Like it was just, it was an amazing thing to have as a support system, was the YMCA there. And to see that go because of the pandemic, it was really a sad thing. But thankfully, you know, like you were saying, like thankfully things did work out in the end. And I work out at a different gym now. Me and Bhupinder, you know what I mean, once in a while at Crunch, like he's awesome. You can see he's just a massive individual. We like to talk about working up here and there, and then obviously in the ring here and there. So that was, I guess that's part of it, is not only did I have little openings of support, but also I had people where I was able to help, you know, stay informed during that time frame too, because that was another tough thing too, because you can sit there and watch anything that you want on YouTube, and the news is full of all these sort of things and everything, and everybody has, but when you have someone that's knowledgeable and in the know, that's invaluable to have, like a support system. So
yeah, looking back on those days, you really cherish those times with people, and you know, the last winter or something, just being able to go work out once in a while,
exactly,
or whatever, but it's all worth it.
Even Al, A1, actually, there was a workout that we had with Al the one time that was really nice. So
and again, probably not seen a lot of guys recently too, so it's good to link up and just do something like that, right?
Yeah. Oh, it's amazing. Yeah. Especially after so long, like you said. Yeah, it just rekindles how important those connections are.
So, you know, it's been a struggle for everyone pretty much the last year or two. And like you mentioned, kind of the vaccine started getting rolling out, things starting to shape up in the province and the country for like, special events and stuff like that. What was the reception like internally? It's not like you guys go into the office Monday to Friday and see each other. So I'm sure there's a lot of like group text to text, like, okay, we can do this. Maybe we can go here. How are we going to get booked? What's going on? I'm sure once it started to happen, there was a lot of talk and a lot of excitement probably from you guys.
Oh, tons of excitement, a lot of hesitancy. Emotions it was emotional roller coaster is definitely a good way to put it, because there's little things that happen, right? Like at shows, they'll say, don't slap five. We don't want you going into the fans and everything like that, which is, what I mean? We want to be as safe as possible. So as you're running around the ring, you get really excited, and every once in a while you see that little 5-year-old kid run over to you and you slap five as you're walking by, and you're like, wait a second, I was told not to. Oh my gosh, I gotta go on. You know what I mean? You feel bad, and you're like, please don't fire me, please don't fire me. I just feel like you go into a muscle memory thing of just being so connected to the fans, and then all of a sudden you're supposed to adapt and change and go a different way. So it's hard, and thankfully promoters and fans and everyone's been very understanding of certain things, and the hesitancy and safety protocols have been there. I would say, like, it's exactly what it's expected. No one's really crossed any lines. No one's, what I mean? Every show that I've been at has been for the most part, safe. I would just say there's one or two things are like, oh my gosh, like, is this okay? You know what I mean? You feel bad about it because it comes from a life that we knew before, right? Yeah. So it's not really that vicious thing. It's more just like ooh, wow, I missed this.
Yeah, I mean, we're used to the protocols now, but I mean, you're taught to do those things, right? So it's just a custom in your brain, no matter what. I mean, it's just what you're taught, right? So that's funny. I actually kind of did think about that, because it's like it'd be hard to run a wrestling show right now,
Oh yeah, it's insane. That's some of the things that just kicking around ideas going on. It's the logistics it's tough. It really is tough. And I got to give it out to all these promoters that are putting on shows right now and that are going through all the headaches and dodging all the roadblocks to try and get these shows up. They're doing amazing. Honestly, I can't say how tough it is with everything going on. So I have to give a special thanks to all the promoters out there that are pushing through despite the protocols, and making sure everyone not only has a good show to enjoy, but that they're safe while they're doing it. Yeah. So
that's what it's all about, So that's awesome stuff, man. And maybe a little different everywhere too, because I noticed, a lot of you guys, maybe not only or including yourself, sorry, you're going around Ontario, Quebec, and even out east. So it might be a little bit different everywhere you go. I want to kind of talk about the different places and shows you guys have been to. I see Sea Valley and Chemical Valley and Sarnia and stuff like that. So looks like your weekends are busy again, then.
Yeah. Basically, I'm booked all the way up into the new year, which is it's awesome. Yeah. You know what I mean? So it's been nice. Cornwall's an amazing city. Sarnia, passionate fans. I love wrestling in Sarnia, and thankfully, it's not so far away. Yeah. But also I've been to Dartmouth, Nova Scotia. I'm actually going back there in 2 weeks. I'm going to be wrestling Kobe Christ for the Kaizen Pro Wrestling Championship. And that's something that he was a trainee at Can-Am Wrestling back in 2006, 2005, 2006. So he actually started wrestling here in Windsor around us, when I first started wrestling too. So we have this deep connection and this deep bond that formulated back when we first started wrestling, that we seem to come back into each other's lives every so often and bounce off each other. And this next one could be the biggest. Honestly, I really feel like it's going to be one of the better matches, regardless of outcome, one of the better matches that we've had.
Fantastic, man. Yeah. And we'll kind of talk about that too, because like you had mentioned, I'm sure everyone's eager to get back to it. It's cool to see some of the fans that you've seen all the time and stuff like that. And I feel like it's like even more of a buzz now, because everyone, is eager to get back. That's kind of like you were talking about before, right? So things are just back to normal, but even higher up, at least in the way you guys are feeling, it seems.
Yes. Yeah. Oh yeah. The energy in the locker room is, I gotta say, it's never been higher. You know what I mean? And everyone's motivated. Everybody that's in every locker room that I've been in, they're all motivated to put on the best show that they possibly can, to be in the best shape they possibly can. Like, I've never seen that sort of motive. Like, in the locker room, everybody is just, they're trying to bring their game to a whole new level. They understand how vital it is to really utilize the time that they have. You know what I mean? Because anything could happen at any point in time. They could go away like that. right? So I feel like there's a whole renewed passion and energy in the locker room. And then the fans are the ones that are going to benefit from it the most because they're just getting a better product. So
win-win, man. It's a win-win.
Exactly.
I mean, it's one thing to like take a break from something or, take some time off for a certain reason, but to be forced to do it is totally different, especially like you talk about how vital 1 year could be, 2 years of not keeping sharp with whatever it is you might be in a thing like wrestling, in the ring, out of the ring, all the different things in the ring. It's difficult to keep sharp, I'm sure. And now to be back to it, everyone is ready to rock and roll.
Oh, it's true. And I can imagine that there's a lot of people out there that might even be feeling a little bit behind because Windsor, it's like, Southern Ontario itself, it seems a little bit, like I was saying, the shows aren't really happening here, especially here in Windsor. Yeah. So you look around and a few months ago when nothing was going on here, you'd see that stuff was still going on in the States or in the UK and you'd almost feel like, oh my gosh, like, when is this going to happen here? You almost feel behind. So now I'm sure that people are just getting into it and they're feeling like they have to play catch up. So, it's even more anxiety, even more, even more drive to keep up with the herd. So,
yeah. I mean, it's so true, man. I remember a couple months ago just being so frustrating, like looking across the border and everything's normal and here we're locked down. And now here, like it feels like things are normal, but we're still taking those precautions, which is fine. But of course we got to be close to that fine line of, we're on the end tail of this stuff. And again, everyone's back having fun. I'm glad to see it, but I got to kind of ask this one inevitable question to sort of start to wrap it up. Internally, has there been any talk about BCW coming back or anything like that? Maybe not like, when or where kind of thing, but I'm sure you guys have been a little bit of discussions, right?
There's nothing official, but there has been little rumblings. I can say that there has been talks that talks about a show, but nothing official. There's still too much going on for everyone to feel very comfortable in Windsor. Yeah. So I think that it's still something that's going to happen probably in the new year. It won't be before 2021. That's something I don't see happening.
Yeah, like that's what I mean. Like not like, we have anything anticipated, but like the guys and girls got to be like talking about it, like if we're in Sarnia and we're in London or whatever, eventually we're going to be in Windsor, right? So.
Oh yeah, I honestly feel like it's not even as much a demand. Like the demand, I feel like it's there, because there's people that are contacting me all the time asking about the show. I had a fan actually, amazing fans. They came to Toronto to come and watch me just this past weekend at Demand Lucha. Brian and Dan, thank you so much. You guys are the best. Shout out to them. They came to Demand Lucha and to Destiny Wrestling to watch me wrestle this past weekend. So, I gotta say that they are so passionate and they want to see wrestling so bad. They're willing to drive 4 hours, stay overnight in a hotel just to see, me and Aiden Prince. So that makes me feel special. And it makes me feel like what I'm doing now is something, encouraging, and it's something that's inspiring to people. So I have a responsibility to keep it going. Yeah. And honestly, I think that it's going to keep going here, but I think when I'm the only one that's wearing a mask in the city, that's probably when it's more likely to happen.
Then it's over. Yeah, man, that's cool. I mean, maybe a little bit more of a struggle for you guys with the travel. I mean, but part of it is traveling to shows is the fun part too, with friends and family, like you mentioned. So it's cool, man. It's cool. And that's what wrestling's all about, providing that entertainment for people and to, be proud of your work and stuff like that. So, man, so happy that things are shaping up again. I've been talking to tons of people in different fields. And like we talked before, started recording, I wanted to get some wrestling back on here, even though there's not a lot going on. But we have so many professional wrestlers in Windsor who connect with each other like yourself, and it's cool to tell your story and catch up with you, man. So thanks for taking the time to chat with me.
Awesome. Thank you very much.